This day has been really full with so much facts, so many examples and really useful information that I think we do need a short summary. And who could be better in doing this than Miss Marion Eckardt, welcome to the stage, and Miss Iwona Lisztwan, there you are, Policy Coordinator of Leader at the European Commission. Welcome.
Thank you. Maybe we should change.
What do? We stand, we walk, I think, to keep the audience awake.
We keep the audience
Otherwise,
awake.
if we sit, people will energy drop. We will walk around.
We will walk around
like all the young ones.
Yes.
I got inspired. I think the walking.
And I think also it makes me waking up. And we have thought that I will start and then Iwona. Because I learned today that the power of a song is immense. God, I think it was the best moment of the whole conference until now. I really want to thank you, Peter. It's so good. And also for a fantastic Vortrag. I forgot the word. Speech, you're right. Yes, I have told you before, maybe you missed it. In case you missed it, this is an event that we have signed up in the Conference on the Future of Europe, which means we will make input after this to the Conference of the Future of Europe, because we want the rural voices to be heard there. And some of the first points I will present here today from the Eckardt community, and this will then be further defined the coming days in order to make like a proper input, and we will work on it together. And we have parted it in two parts, like one is like conclusions on policy and one is conclusions on CLLD. And concerning policies, the things that we have been taking with us so far is long-term vision on rural areas. We need activity and resources to go with it for rural development in order to make it reality. Where that will come from is not clear, but we need it. And we think for the rural agenda, as the French Senate is proposing, is a good idea. But it could also be other means, of course. That is one thing we want to bring up in our conclusions. And a second thing on rural policy that we want to, or on general societal policy that we want to bring up, is that we need base service guarantee for people. It needs to be designed in new and innovative ways how we provide service for people, of course, but also in the most, in the places that are economically not so profitable to have service, we need to have some kind of base service, and it should be some kind of part of our societal contract that any citizen can count on, so that we know what to expect when we live in a country. And also, that also goes for welfare, of course. It is a part of the societal contract, and we are also taxpayers in rural areas, and what are we entitled to and what should we be handling ourselves? We should have some reasonable access to hospitals and other welfare systems. Because we think that rural areas are attractive. We just need the basic service to attract people, because if you don't have the basic service, it's not possible to live there. And so that is also part about another thing that we want to bring up. It is that we need to change the story about how we talk about rural areas, because even in our own community, we hear, we have to raise the attractiveness of rural areas. No, rural areas are really attractive. We may just be failing service or transport, and that is not, that is service. That is not that we're unattractive. We need to talk about rural areas as places of opportunity, about their assets and their engaged inhabitants, and I think that is really important. We also want our youth to be involved, and we heard very clearly from our youth panel that we need to involve the youth in the decision making and in the shaping of the society, and I think that goes for all levels. Yeah, that is the first points that we will be proposing on rural policy, and of course a little bit more with many more words and more precise than I've been saying it now. When it comes to community-led local development, because we have been talking about that for quite some time here on stage today, because it is our 30th birthday. We really urge to be seen for the LAGs to be seen as territorial development actors. We have been around for such a long time. It's time to take us serious in many different policy areas. And that also goes, of course, for smart villages. Of course, we are the actors that are supposed to support the smart villages. We are there already. And also when it comes to the long-term vision on rural areas, we need to involve LAGs on national, local and regional level when it comes to the shaping of the activities that are coming out of it. And then we had also from the youth panel the importance of using the local action groups as transformators into a more sustainable society. It's really important. But furthermore, we also want to cherish the international community that LEADER is. We have like an international community of rural actors, and we should support that even more. And we can do that, for example, through making it possible to work with transnational cooperation from the member state level as well. Those were the short points that I had, and I'm giving the floor to Iwona.
Yes, thank you, Marion. I'm Iwona. I work for the European Commission, and I have a clear job. My job is to make the most of LEADER and to help the member state make the most of the opportunities. I'm actually here on stage first time. I will tell you a little about myself to increase my credibility a little bit. And then I have only 4 conclusions, so don't worry, they're going to be short. I grew up in the communist Poland. I first went abroad when I was 20. I came across rural development as a linguist in '96. Somebody offered me a job to work for the EU integration. And then I asked, what? What integration? What is the EU? I don't know anything about it. I can't even dream about it. But that's why I took the job, precisely for that reason. I was working on the EU accession process from '96 till, 2003, something like that, as a linguist, as a person who can communicate. I was drafting the Polish support program simply because I could write it in English. And I decided then to get a little bit more thinking. I did a PhD in Newcastle University. Pity they are the Brexit, but it's like that. Looking at regional aspects of rural development. Quite a relevant topic for today. And then I moved to Brussels, and I was working for 7 years on the Polish Rural Development Program. And I have to say, I saw the LEADER growing, so I know what difference it can make. After that, I moved to work on Turkey and Western Balkans, and for the next 10 years, I was busy exporting the model to Turkey. And I tell you, surprise, surprise, it works. The local LEADER emerged a little bit by themselves when I least expected it. And they are there. The 50 local action groups with young people and the women, they are there. So now, since February, I'm sitting behind my desk in my home office. Well, I don't have a desk. I sit on my sofa. And I'm so happy for Marion that finally I can meet you and listen. So now the conclusions are very simple because this conference was so easy and so clear in a way with the conclusions that I don't need any effort to bring a conclusion. So I have 4 conclusions. The first one is LEADER should be and is rooted in its method. And the 7 principles of LEADER are the most important thing. For every LAG in the European Union, every single LAG. In a real, true, strong way. That's my first. The second one, Leader is delivering a lot of added value, but a lot of this value is not so visible. Maybe it is implicit, and it should be more visible, and we should be seen to be delivering this value. So added value. The next one, leader is already very smart and quite young, but I think with today's world and complexities that are increasing every day, we need to keep getting even smarter and maybe younger. I was quite surprised to see teenagers in the pictures today. And the final one, leader has a place in the futurium. Futurium is a building that it is today, but it's increased. It's part of the future. It's a place in Berlin where the future is shown, and we are getting comfortable in the future. Now, in concrete terms, just very briefly, on the 7 principles, we are still talking about open, balanced partnerships, full of participation, also of the ones that are maybe not so strong, and on the young people, of the women, of different groups in every single lag in the European Union. We are talking about integrated strategies and real links, real cooperation, and projects that bring this cooperation. Innovation at the local level is the key to demonstrating how impressive a leader can be. We've seen it. We want to see more of it. Networking and cooperation is the source of this innovation very often. Innovation comes from seeing something else and from thinking in a different way. So we want to see all these principles being possible for every lag in every member state, 3,500 lags. Now on the added value is very strong, very clear, but very invisible in many ways. It's the social capital, it's the networks between people, it's the contacts, the getting to know, the relation, the trust, the smile, the song. It's working together. And now in the European Union, where political power is important, the politics is important, people feeling part of it is super important for citizens, for leaders, and we are doing it. We want to be seen to be doing more, so probably we will be monitoring, and maybe even we add indicators, I warn you. But we have to show it, because if it's not visible, it will stay somewhere in the corner. No, it's in the center, it's what we do. We want to be seen to be doing it. Local governance, we discussed about sometimes conflicts and mediation, not enough resources for everything, thinking in wider collective interests, and thinking in challenges that are global, that we see everywhere. And no single person, even a rich person, can find an answer to it. So the society is getting more in the collective wisdom. And leader is super in this, and I hope we'll do that. And finally, what I heard here in the panel, the concrete actions we are doing, the concrete projects, every single project matters, how money is spent. And I don't need to mention that we have various bodies that are looking at the spending, so we need to make sure that leader delivers projects which have unique qualities and unique results. And there are so many of them, and we just need to maybe show them better. They are innovation, they are underpinned by hours and hours of animation before they come, or they are bringing a certain awareness, any qualities. The next one is leader getting smarter. We have seen it here, and bringing a lot of advancement from research communities, from universities, from innovation brokers, startup fora, to bring not only technological progress, but a lot of progress in brain research, in social science, in psychology, in how people mediate differences and talk together, in bringing, and also modern art, in bringing the society forward. reader in the futurium. We need to understand it more. We need to understand what the future trends are, various technologies and softwares, and also green transition. Everything is artificial intelligence. So I think this smart village networking and other networking are very important. Leader being young and getting even younger. I wrote here, and I have to say, I prepared it before. I put 20s and 30s. I have to cross it. Now it's teenagers. I saw age of 11, age of 14, 16. People are getting younger involved. So we know what to do.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you both for this excellent and very hopeful summary of the day. No present for you today, but a present for
for
you.
me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Iwona.